Hey guys, my name is Blake Kitchens. This is Hound Hogs Barbecue, and welcome to the world of rubs. Today we're reviewing John Lindsey's all queued up seasonings. All Queued Up is a company owned by John Lindsey. He's out of Jonesboro, Arkansas. And let me be honest, I'm going to go ahead and give you a disclaimer. I use his products in all of my competition stuff. We've actually done really well with it. You know, I try to look back and see what they've accomplished with their rubs, and there's just too much to count because his rubs are a part of the Arcasipi combo, which has just killed it on the competition trail. Just a month ago, actually, a little over a month ago, me and Brianna, we got third and she got first at a competition in Evergreen, Alabama using these rubs. And so it's a really good rub, does really well in the competition scene, so I am a little bit biased, but I will give you a good review of the product itself. But that's enough of the background. Let's go ahead and get into the rubs. So these bottles, obviously they look pretty good, right? I really do like his brand. Here's the thing, these are also bottled by Townsend Spice and Supply, the same people that Bill Mann's products, Pit Grit, were bottled by. It's a really good company. They actually turn out some really good rubs. They do a lot in the competition scene. And so this is the barbecue rub. I'm not really here to do a barbecue rub review, even though I do use this sometimes for color in my competition recipe. I will say this. It is basically a really good barbecue rub. It's got some kind of unique flavor, which I'm calling chipotle. I may be wrong about what it is, but in my mind, it tastes like chipotle. But it's really good. We use this in our competition stuff. We use this in our cooking stuff. I mean, you can see how little is left of really all of these bottles. So this is really good, but I'm not going to actually review this rub tonight. Big Red Beef is a beautiful rub. You can see just by looking in the bottle here, it's got a really bright kind of reddish orange color. It's going to put a really good color on your steaks. This actually has a little bit of beef base in it, just like Bill Mann's Pit Grit does. It's actually got the number one ingredient, MSG, which you guys know that I love. And so this is kind of his beefy flavor rub. Now, this is the star of the show for me. The steak shake is the foundation of basically all of my competition recipes. It's got a good garlic, good onion. It's just got a really good taste. And once again, it also has the MSG in it. And so you can see these are both kind of a medium fine grind. They're not the finest rubs I've seen or used, but they're pretty fine, and that's actually how I like it because I feel like it absorbs into the steak well. But that's enough about the bottles and the ingredients. Let's go ahead and see what these things taste like. So let's start by trying the Big Red Beef. Now this one is kind of a unique flavor. Anytime you put beef base into something, it's going to automatically taste beefy for a good reason. Saltiness, I would give it probably about a 5 out of 10. As far as like 10 would be really salty, 0 would be no salt at all. And I actually just got a little bit of a kick in there, a little bit of spice, and it's got a little sweetness too with that chipotle and a little bit of sugar in there. So it's really good. It's got a very unique flavor. I actually don't think I've tasted another rub that tastes just like this. But this is my favorite. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm very partial to this rub. It was one of the first rubs that I really used. And it's just so good, like the smell of it, I could recognize. Saltiness, 7 out of 10. Not as in 10 being good, right? This is something new I'm trying, but if you were on a scale of 1 to 10 of how salty something is, that's a 7. This one's a 5. This has got a little bit more salt. MSG also can make things taste a little saltier, but the onion, the garlic, and the black pepper really just pop in this rub, which is why it's such a good beef rub. I've honestly never tried these two rubs alone on a steak. I've used these rubs multiple times in competition steaks and at-home steaks, but I've never just used these two. So I'm really interested to see what we got. So that's enough about the rubs and the textures and the flavors and all that stuff. Let's get it put on a steak and let's get it on the grill. All right, so we've got this steak cooked. The color looks really good. You know, the doneness was just spot on. So let's take a look and see what it tastes like. One thing I noticed is I can't really see any rub on top. When you use a coarser rub, a lot of times that rub stays on top and maybe it burns or chars a little bit. This steak is super tender. I didn't do not one thing to tenderize it, so it's definitely a good steak. It's got a really good flavor. There's a lot of beef in it. There's no really standout one flavor. It just really enhances the flavor of the beef. But let me tell you, I know from experience, this one right here is a great base rub. It is the thing that just kind of centers all of my other rubs. It's the one thing that I haven't changed since I've started. And this one, awesome color, really good beef flavor, and so I'm really happy with it. I love all queued up. You know, John's really helped me out a lot. You guys probably seen me talk about him in other videos. But as always, guys, we really want to encourage you to support the smaller business, to support these cooks that are out there developing rubs for other cooks, and these companies that are developing rubs for other cooks, like Townsend Spice and Supply. They do a lot of work with smaller cooks who are doing smaller batches. And so we just want to encourage you guys to support them, to try their rubs. But other than that, guys, I would 100% suggest these rubs right here. And guys, there's a world of rubs out there, so why don't you go out and try something new.